Are you stuck playing fills like this? And want to play fills like this? This video is going to talk about how we use macrorhythms to make more interesting fills that sound good and aren't repetitive. A macrorhythm is essentially just a skeleton for whatever rhythm we're playing. For example, if I play just a bunch of accented paradiddles on the snare drum, the macrorhythm for what I just played is this. Musically, it's the part of what I just played that everybody really hears and connects with. It's much easier to think of a macrorhythm in your head while you're playing than all the other details. Then we just let our hands fill in the rest. There's two ways that we're going to use this today. The first is developing a strong lead hand and support hand, where your lead hand plays the macrorhythm while your support hand fills in the spaces however you want. Then the other way is doing the same thing but free-handed. So for lead hand and support hand, the two rudiments we're going to use a lot of are singles and padadas. If you don't know what a padada is, it's right, left, left. And if you don't know what singles are, it's just right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. So for our first macrorhythm, we're going to play quarter notes. On the snare here, I'm just going to play 4 quarter notes with my right hand. Now I'm going to do this 2 ways. The first way, I'm going to play singles. In between my right hand playing the quarter notes, I'm just going to play 1/8 notes on my left hand. The other way we're going to do it is with padadas. Now let's just move this around a little bit. I have a 3-piece drum set here. So for the 4 beats, my right hand's gonna hit snare, rack tom, and then floor tom, and then floor tom again. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna just fill the singles with my left hand on the snare drum. Now let's turn these quarter notes into 1/8 notes, and I'll play a 2-beat fill, making it just twice as fast. With these, you want to play the macrorhythm over and over and over again, so it really gets cemented into your head. Now I'll do something that's a little bit more 16th note oriented. With my right hand, I'm just going to play 1, and E, 4, a 1. So if I do the same macrorhythm as I just did, but replace the second to last note with my foot, then I get this. So for this next macrorhythm, I'm going to do kind of a triplet feel. With all those spaces, you can fill in with padadas and singles. So I'm going to do snare, tom, snare, floor tom, snare, crash. You can move that around in any way you want. Just like before, I'm going to replace that second to last note with my bass drum. Now I'll just do the same things. Here's another one, 16th note oriented. All right, here's another. I'll give you one more. 1, and 3, 4. Now, just like before, I'm going to replace that second to last note with my foot. Now we can open up the gates much more if we do what we just did with all of our limbs. The key here is to know your way around different rhythms and how to fill them, so that you can hear them in your head and fill them without really thinking about it. My best advice is to know and play your rudiments with accents and taps. You don't need to know rudiments to be able to do this, but it sure helps a lot. You can check out my video about a bunch of rudiments and how to use them on the drum set up here if you like. The other thing we have to be really comfortable with is the difference between accents and taps and making sure there's a clear contrast between them. This requires really knowing our way around the stroke types like full stroke, downstroke, taps, taps, upstrokes, all that stuff. I cover that stuff and how to get good at it in depth in a few videos, so here's one of those right there. But think about staying relaxed, keeping your taps low, and not getting in the way of the natural movement of the stick. Without proper use of these stroke types, we're not gonna have good dynamics and we're not gonna flow. Let's take the last macrorhythm that we just did, but open it up to other opportunities. First, I'll start using my foot to fill these spaces and even play the macrorhythm. I'll just use paradiddles to fill this space. Now I'm gonna just move my accents to different drums. A little bit crazy, but it sounds cool. All right, let's do another one. All right, let's do one more, kind of a triplet-based one. So just like anything else we do, a lot of the development of this comes with practice and repetition, especially practicing fundamentals like just playing rhythms, stroke types, and rudiments. Then you'll start to get much faster with it and develop a vocabulary, so you won't have to think about what you're playing, you can play what you're thinking. But start small, start with the lead hand and the support hand, then as you feel more comfortable with what you're doing, start to just move things around and open up a little bit more. Well, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a subscribe, a like, leave a comment, and hit the bell icon because I got new videos coming out every week. Check out the description for the link to the PDF of what we did today, as well as links to my website for lessons, a link to my Instagram, and a link to my music, which is available on all platforms. All right, see ya.